let's talk about the immediate. I took some principles from this book, and what really grabbed my attention, this is like the fourth time I read the book, but what he points out in the book is there's some common lies that we tend to believe, and you got to start changing the way you think about certain things. And let me tell you what they are. So for instance, he said lie number one, or myth number one. Call it a lie, call it a myth, same idea. Myth number one, everything matters equally. That's a myth. It's a total lie, as a matter of fact. For instance, in the real estate business, a lot of people do a lot of things every day in our business. You go to my real estate office, you see a bunch of people doing a lot of things. And they think, here's my list of 12 things I need to do, and it's very important that I do all 12 of these things. Well, the fact is, if you sit down and you examine their list, you probably got a list too. If you sit down and you look at somebody's list, the truth is, you might have 12 things on that list, but 2 of those things make a difference and matter way more than the other. So for instance, in real estate, prospecting is the most important thing there is to do. So Marlon and I talk about this all the time. What is the one thing, hey, what's the name of that book? Boom. What is the one thing we need to do every stinking day of the week in order to keep our business growing and proliferating? What is that one thing? So for us, it's prospecting, talking to new people about real estate deals. We need to talk to people every day. Matter of fact, we talk about how we need to bring more people onto our team to help us talk to more people every day, because talking to people every day about real estate is the most important thing we can do. Now, we need to do a whole lot of other stuff. I need to shoot 2 videos a day, according to Marlon. I need to, he needs to put together marketing materials for things we're listing. He needs to, I got a list of about 50 things on it. But there's only one thing that contributes to our current and future income that's consistent every stinking day. And it is prospect for more potential investors, people, clients, buyers, people, partners, et cetera, et cetera. We need to be talking to more people every single day. If we go a day without talking to somebody new or somebody who's a prospect to join us, invest with us, buy from us, partner with us, then that's a lost day. So the possibility of us growing is 0 if we don't do that. That makes that one thing the most important thing we could do. So in your life, in your day, when you talk about starting tomorrow, how do I start, Daron? How do I begin? How do I start? Start thinking about the one thing you can do starting tomorrow that can move the needle for you. What is the one thing that is essential? And that's why in the book, Gary talks about priority. What is your priority? You notice I didn't say priorities. What is your priority? There is one most important thing that you can do and that you can start doing tomorrow that will begin to put you on that path. Now, you got to decide what it is. I can't decide that for you. I know what it is for me, and that's why, just kind of like I told you, Nick and Marlon and I had a meeting this morning, because what do we need to do? We need to reach more people. I want more people to hear this show, because that's the only way my business grows. I need to talk to more people, whether that's picking up the phone, whether that's broadcasting to more people, whether that's figuring out how to get our reach out there further. We need people for our business to exist. So my one thing is more people, talk to more people, reach more people, touch more people. What's your one thing? What's the one thing you know you need to do in order to grow your business? And then here's what we're going to take us to a simple process. You know that one thing. When you figure out what that one thing is, get yourself a calendar and take a big red marker and just simply put an X on that calendar day when you've done that thing. That's it. Keep it simple. If you know you need to cold call every day as a real estate agent, cold call on Monday and put an X on Monday. That's it. Tuesday, make sure you cold call, put that red X on the calendar. Do it again and again and again. And here's the cool thing about it. Once you've strung together 6 or 7 or 10 of those X's, you won't want to break the cycle. You won't let yourself break the cycle. It's like perpetual motion. It's a great way to create a habit. You know, they say it actually takes like 66 days to create a new habit. 66, not 21, not 10, 66. So what you got to do is start putting yourself in the habit of doing the one most important thing every day. You can do one thing. You can if I told you do these 18 things every day, it's hard to pull off. But I'm telling you, think of what the one most important thing is and make it a point to do that every single day. If you want to call it every work day, fine. But Monday through Friday, if that's your work week, you know there's one important thing for you to do. Do that one thing. Forget about the list of 50 things. Those are the things they'll fall into place. But I challenge you to find out what that one most important thing is and make sure you do it every day. All right. That's myth number one, is that everything matters equally. It does not. Some things matter more. Okay? And it's like when people say, oh, I love everybody. That's a lie. You don't love everybody, and you can't. You can't even love your whole family the same way. You don't even love your family members the same way. Some folks don't even love their kids the same way. You know your junior's a pain in your ass. You don't like him that much, but his sister is cool. So you know that's how it works. We're being honest. You don't love everybody. Not true. And you don't love everybody equally. Not true. So just like tasks, everything matters equally. Not true. All right, myth number two, multitasking is a myth. Whoa, I thought that would hit me hard, because I was like, what do you mean it's a myth? I can do multiple things at once. The truth is, you cannot. You cannot focus on more than one thing at one time. Think about it. I know you can walk and chew gum, but you can't focus on both at the same time. If you're doing one thing and not thinking about it, it's because you got the motor skills that let that kind of go on autopilot. You cannot focus on more than one thing. So sitting around thinking that, okay, I'm reading this book and I'm watching that television show. The fact is, you're doing both of those things poorly, is what you're doing. You're scattering your focus. You go from the TV to the book, to the TV to the book. You're not focused on anything. There's a cool little saying that in the book that says, is an old Russian proverb that says, chase two rabbits and you catch none. You can only focus on one thing at a time. So forget the multitasking myth and be focused. Whatever you're doing, focus on that at that moment. And then when you're done, go to the next thing. Okay? Next, he talks about willpower. And the reason he talks about willpower in the book is because he says willpower is something that comes and goes. So in order to, you can harness your attention and your focus, but it's not always at the same level. So in other words, your willpower waxes and wanes. It comes and it goes. Certain times of the day, you are more powerful than other times of the day. You know it. If you haven't gotten any sleep and you've been up for 13 hours, your willpower, your skill, your focus is not the same as it is at 9 in the morning. So the advice is to plan your most valuable, most critical activities for that time of day or night when you are most effective. A lot of musicians, they sleep all day and then they go in the recording studio in the middle of the night. That's when they do their best work, apparently. And so that's when they find their focus. Maybe it's because the world is quiet outside and the phone's not ringing and they can dive in, right? I heard that Stephen King, the writer, hey, his first 4 hours of the day are when he writes. Between 7 a.m. and 11 a.m., he locks out the rest of the world and focuses on writing the next book. Is he still alive? Did Stephen King die? I might be talking about him in the past tense then. But the fact is, all of his best writing, 7 a.m. to 11 a.m., lock everything else out. And that's kind of where Marlon and I are going with our prospecting, business building activities. Hit them up in the morning when we're most focused, when we're most driven, and then everything else after that. Think about it. Your willpower is not 24/7. Channel your best activities, your most valuable activities, your most important activities, that one thing you know you need to do, and do it when you're at your peak state. For many of us, it's the morning. For many of us, it's after we work out in the morning. For me, it's have a cup of coffee, work out, and then get on it. And that's when I'm at my best. You got to decide when it is for you. But It's not consistent. You're not the same at 9 p.m. as you are at 11 a.m. Think about it. All right. Myth number 5. And the book emphasizes this stuff, so you guys got to read the book. It's the myth of a balanced life. A balanced life. And this is funny because we all say, we want to have a balanced life, and we say that because it sounds good. It's like honorable to have a balanced life. The truth is, if you really want to make something happen, sometimes you get out of balance. If you really want to move the needle in your life, sometimes you gotta drop everything and focus on that thing. And sometimes that will be out of balance. I remember my buddy that sold the company for $250 million. You know what he said? He said, you know how I got here in such a short period of time? He says, because in the beginning, if I needed to work 22 hours a day and never leave the office, that's what I did. He goes, I did whatever it took to make the company go. And guess what? He was about as out of balance at that period of time as you can imagine, but he needed to do what he needed to do. And that means sometimes getting out of balance. It's okay. It's not a sin, you guys. It's okay. If you got a mission to accomplish, then you got to accomplish that mission. Think of a farmer. When the crop is ready to be picked, you think the farmer says, well, I'm only going to put in 4 hours of that because, I do this for 4 hours and I'll harvest for 4 hours and then I'll go sleep for 8 hours. No, they harvest until the whole harvest has been picked and pulled, right? So he's out of balance for that week. When it's time to pick the fruit or time to pick the crop, he's out of balance. You do whatever you got to do. You work 24/7 if you need to. So don't be afraid of getting a little bit out of balance when the moment is critical. You know how they say you got to make hay when the sun is shining, and the sun don't shine 24/7. You got to get your work done when the appropriate time is there, and you do whatever you got to do to get there. Understood? You see, when I first started in the real estate business, somebody told me, he said, listen, if you got no deals, if you got nothing going on, you got nothing to do but get on that telephone and start calling folks. And you do it as long as it takes until you make something happen. So for me, that's all you had to do is tell me that once. I was on that phone for 8 to 10 hours a day. What is that? That's doing whatever the hell you got to do in order to make something happen. And so sometimes you are going to be way out of balance, but if it's so that you can get to your long-term objective, it's worth it. Okay? All right, and then the final myth, the final lie that we are told or have been conned into believing is that big is bad. That a big dream, a big goal, a big objective, a big income is less than honorable. And I agree 1,000% with the concept that is false. I would say the opposite is true. The bigger, the better. How are you going to impact the world? How are you going to help your whole family out if you don't go for the big goal, the big brass ring? I think it's selfish to go for the small stuff. I think if you just want to make enough so you do well, I think you're being a little selfish. I think you should think big and think, you know what? I'm going to make so much money that I'm going to hire all my cousins and friends, and I'm going to take the whole family on 2 vacations a year, and I'm going to include everybody who deserves being included, and that's how we're going to roll. I think that's a better way to go. I think you got to stretch your goals, stretch the objective, think way bigger than you're currently thinking, and then when you're halfway there or a third of the way there, you've made some serious progress. Think about it. If you remember the 5-year income goal we mapped out? Okay, so if you're going to make $1 million in 5 years, you're going to be making $1 million a year. Think about year 3. Oh my God, in year 3, I only made $600,000. Think of the impact you have on your life and other people's lives while you're making $600,000. You're only 60% of the way to your goal. But your goal is so big and so bright and so ambitious that 60% is a big fat number. Are you gonna be mad making $600,000 and you're only like halfway through your goal? You gonna be upset? Are you gonna be living poorly? Are you gonna be disappointed? You're gonna be having so much fun on this journey because halfway there is 600 grand coming your way. Do you understand? Do you understand how that works? If the goal is big enough, then the process is a whole lot more fun getting there. All right? So forget the big is bad. Forget the big and lofty and ambitious is dishonorable, because it's not. It's honorable to win big. It's very honorable to become really, really wealthy. It's really honorable to make a whole lot of money and not have to apologize for it. There's no shame in winning big. No shame. Look, let me tell you something. People say, Bill Gates, who would ever need $90 billion? Well, guess what? You know what that man and his wife are doing with that fortune? They are literally changing the lives of hundreds of thousands of people who don't have health care all over the world. All over the world. Now, if Bill Gates had quit when he had $5 million and said, well, that's enough is enough. I just want my share, and me and my wife will be comfortable for the rest of our lives because we got $5 million. If he stopped there, look at how many lives would not be getting affected. This man says, screw it. Let's make all the money. 90 billion is great. Let's make another 100 billion in the rest of our lifetime so we can affect lots of people. I want you to go big. I want you to think big. I want you to get ambitious, and don't apologize. Okay? So we just went through the 6 myths, the 6 lies. They're touched on in this book, but the crux of the book, the one thing, which has been our topic today, along with our goal setting, is that always narrow it down to the what is it I should be doing that's the most important thing that can get me on the path to my goal. That's the moral of the story. That's why we highlighted that book. That's why I'm going to give that book away. That's why I want you to go on Road to a Million Show on YouTube, click subscribe, click like, tell me who you are, and click that little bell because it's going to remind you when we are on the air. Woo! This was fun today. I'm so excited about what's coming up, you guys. The ideas are swirling in my brain. The Road to a Million Show is only about to get better. So keep tuning in because we're going to keep bringing you the good stuff. Hey, come check us out on the next show because we're going to put Speedy on that path. Speedy's going to own a house, and we're going to make it happen. On Thursday, we're going to have our credit repair specialist here with us, and we're going to bring Speedy in here, and we're going to start getting that man's life together, and he's going to own a home, and the goal is March 31st. We're going to have Speedy in the house by March 31st. Whoa! You get to watch it all happen here. All right, ladies and gentlemen, this has been a great show. I'm wrapping it up right now because I'm Daron C. Campbell. I'm the hardest working man in real estate. I'm your real estate mentor, and I'll see all of you at the top. Peace.